4-1. Congruent figures. Triangle JKL is congruent to triangle GHI. Complete the congruent statement. So it says JK is congruent to the corresponding side on this one. So JK here, you'd have to say GH over here. So GH. And that's number 1. Number 2. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle MNO. Not using the pictures this time, the position of the letters in the statement match the congruent angle. So like angle A is congruent to angle M, so angle B will be congruent to angle N. And that's number 2. Number 4, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle MNO. So rewriting that and saying it in a different order, we have O, N, and M. So O, N, and M will be congruent to C, B, and A. Go in the same order. That's number 4. Number 6. At an archaeological site, the remains of 2 ancient step pyramids are congruent. So if ABCD is congruent to E, F, G, and H, find BC. So FG and BC will be congruent to each other. So FG has a length of 300 feet. So BC will also have a length of 300 feet. And that's number 6. Going to number 10. Determine whether the pair of angles is congruent. Well, looking at the 2 angles, even though one side length has the same measure, the other ones are different. So it can't be congruent unless all the sides are the same. So we're going to say not congruent. Number 11, complete the 2-column proof. So our given is that HJ is parallel to KW, angle H is congruent to angle K, HJ is congruent to KW, and HW is congruent to KJ. So statement 1 is actually in our given, so that's our first reason, because it's given. Second statement, reflexive property, and reflexive property is saying something is congruent to itself. In this case, we're going to want to point out that JW is equal to WJ because they're a shared side. So that's the second statement. So now we are saying angle H is congruent to angle K. That is actually given. We're told that angle H is congruent to angle K. And then HJ is parallel to KW. Again, we're told that. That's our given. And then angle HJW is congruent to angle KWJ. So that's HJW and KWJ. Those 2 angles are alternating interior angles. So alternate interior angles of parallel lines are congruent. Third angles theorem is going to say that if 2 out of 3 angles are congruent, then the third angles will have to be congruent to each other. So the only ones we haven't addressed yet are JWH and WJ and K. So therefore, if all 3 angles are the same, and we have all 3 sides being the same, we have the 2 triangles themselves being the same. And that is number 7, which completes number 11. Number 12, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Find the measure of the given angles. So the measures of angle A and angle D are going to be congruent to each other because if the triangles are congruent and they're in the same position here, they correspond with each other. So setting them equal to each other, we then subtract x from both sides, we get x is 24, then we substitute it back in to find the measures. 24 plus 24 is 48, 2 times 24 is 48. So that's going to be our answer, so let's type it in. So the measure of angle A is 48. and the measure of angle D is 48. And that's number 12.